Today we're going to take a look at the Fenix PD32 flashlight. Hope you like it. This is another one of those outdoor marketed flashlights that Fenix put out just a few months ago. I really like this light. It has some unique features and some great things we're going to talk about, as well as a few downsides, but let me just go ahead and first say right up front that if you want to skip to the outdoor and indoor beam shots, I'll go ahead and post that time right here. But for the first part of the review, I'm going to just talk about some of the features of the light. Now, the maximum brightness on this flashlight is 315 lumens, which I believe is measured at the bulb and not out the front. But, however, you're still looking at about 275 lumens out the front, if I was to guess, or somewhere around there. Now this is a 2CR123A battery lithium flashlight, which might be a little bit different for someone that's used to using your typical AA's or AAA's, but you can also use a rechargeable 18650 battery, so you got some options there. Now the unique feature about this light is actually the operation. On most flashlights you're used to just operating the flashlight from either the tail cap or the head of the light. When I first got this one, I thought, oh, okay, let me turn the head, just like my LD20, but that's not the case. What you actually do is you press this switch on the tail cap to operate through the modes. You start off in turbo, then you go to low, medium, high. It does have memorization, so if you turn off the light and turn it back on, it'll go back into the same mode. And it does have momentary on, so you can tap the tail cap and it will turn on. You do have a strobe and SOS. In order to access the strobe, you hold down the button on the tail cap for 1 second. In order to access SOS, you then go and hold down that button for 3 seconds. So then you got your SOS mode. Now with those 4 modes, as well as the SOS and strobe, you really got everything that you need. The actual modes, the breakdown of the lumens on the modes, on your high, as I said, is 315, or I'm sorry, the turbo. Your high is 130 lumens, which you're going to see about 8 hours of runtime on, 2 hours on the 315 turbo, but your mid is 70 lumens for about 16 hours, and your low is 9 lumens for about 200 hours. So those of you that really like that moonlight mode that's like 1 lumen or less, this may not be the flashlight for you, but for me personally, I think 9 lumens is more than adequate for most tasks, and I really don't see a use for moonlight mode myself most of the time. Now, as far as some things that I may not like on this flashlight, the pocket clip that they come on here is detachable, and I find it to be just a little bit flimsy. Not that I think I would carry this light as an EDC, but maybe for someone that's in law enforcement, if they wanted to just clip it into one of their larger cargo pockets, you know, you might experience some issues down the road. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Not saying that this one doesn't work, but I just find it to be a little bit flimsy. Now it does come with kind of a nylon holster that you can clip onto your belt by Velcro, or you can attach it from this clip up top here. But it's okay. You know, it's not anything special, I don't think, but as far as quality goes, it's decent quality. Now the beam pattern on this is, it does have a smooth reflector, so it's going to have decent throw, but you are going to see an artifact in the beam or two. It's kind of hard to tell right here because it's so bright, but on the beam, the outer spill beam portion of the beam does have an artifact if you were to look at it on in a dark room on a wall. But to someone that's not into flashlights as much as, say, I am, you're not going to notice it. I think it's a suitable beam for the outdoors, even for possibly tactical usage. They are claiming that you'll get 141 meters of throw. I would probably say, my estimations are different, but I would say something like 40 yards, just to illuminate an entire area, 35-40 yards. As I said, there is a real nice spill portion of the beam. There is a nice center hot spot, nice size, a little bit larger than, say, the LD20, which I will demonstrate in the beam shots, but it does have a really bright and defined spill as well as the center hot spot. So I think it's overall a really good balance for an outdoor type flashlight to use for What I've been using this one for is for running and walking at night on the local track, and then also on some surface streets when I'm doing stuff like that. But that pretty much wraps it up for my overall summary of the light. There's a lot of other features and technical logistics about the light that you can look up in the manual, but those are my pros and cons of the light. Now what I want to go ahead and do is go ahead and get into the beam shots. I'm going to compare this flashlight to the Fenix LD20, and we'll see if I throw some other beams in there as well. But I hope you've enjoyed the review so far, so stay tuned for the beam shots. Let's go ahead and take a look at some beam shots now. Up first, we got the Fenix LD20. This is the Q5 version, 180 lumens. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Fenix PD32, 315 lumens. You can obviously see this is a much brighter flashlight with what it looks like to be a lot more spill, so it illuminates an area a lot better, but it still has really good throw also. Now this is about 40 feet that we're looking at right here. So let's go ahead and throw them together. You got the LD20 on top, PD32 on bottom. They're both great, spectacular flashlights, but you can see a difference. PD32 on the right, LD20 on the left. So now let's go into the outdoor beam shots. Okay, so let's do some outdoor beam shots. First up, we'll go with the LD20. This is the Q5 version on turbo. We're looking at about 50 feet right here, 100 feet, the tree up in the top left corner. Now let's go to the PD32 on turbo. 50 feet in this area right here, 100 feet, that tree in the top left corner. Let's do a comparison of the two. LD20 on the left, PD30 on the right. You can definitely tell that the PD32 is much brighter, but the LD20 is not that far behind. I think the PD32 lights up the spill, the entire area of the backyard much better than the LD20. And the LD20 has a more defined center hotspot, but they're pretty comparable. So anyways, I hope that the beam shots helped you guys, and I'll see you later. Peace.